Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of US state quarter dollar coins, as some of these coins are rare and can make you rich overnight. In this video, we are gonna uncover the rarest coins and their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1 today's episode is all about one of the most fascinating coins from the United States Mint, the Virginia State Quarter from the year 2000. At first glance, it might look like just another piece of change, but some of these coins are turning out to be worth an unbelievable amount of money. So grab your magnifying glass, settle in, and let's uncover the secrets behind this rare and valuable coin. Let's start with a bit of background. The Virginia State Quarter was released in the year 2000 as part of the U.S. 50 State Quarters program. This program celebrated every U.S. state with a unique design on the reverse side of the quarter. For Virginia, the design honors one of the most iconic events in American history, the founding of Jamestown in 1607. On the reverse, you can see the three ships that brought English settlers to the New World: the Susan Constant, the Godspeed, and the Discovery. The design beautifully captures the beginning of America's colonial story, making it one of the most historically rich quarters ever minted. Now, while millions of these coins were produced and circulated, not every Virginia State Quarter is created equal. Most are common, worth their face value of 25 cents. But a select few have become legendary among collectors due to rare minting errors and unique variations. These small imperfections are what transform an ordinary coin into a collector's dream point. One of the most sought-after versions is the double die error. This happens when the coin's design is struck twice, slightly off from the original alignment. When this occurs, you'll notice doubled letters or numbers, especially around the words Virginia, Jamestown, or even the date 1607 to 2000. Under a magnifying glass, the doubling effect almost looks like a shadow of the text, and it's a clear sign that you might be holding something extraordinary. Another rare version is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is not properly aligned during minting, causing the design to be slightly shifted from the center. Depending on how far off-center it is, the value can increase dramatically. Collectors love these quirky mistakes because they tell a story of imperfection that slip past the strict quality control of the US Mint. There are also coins struck on the wrong planchet, meaning they were accidentally made using the metal blank mint for a different coin, like a dime or nickel. These are extremely rare and almost always command huge premiums when they appear in auctions. Imagine holding a quarter that was never supposed to exist in the first place. What makes the Virginia 2000 State Quarter especially appealing to collectors is that it represents a perfect blend of history, artistry, and mystery. The design captures America's earliest beginnings, while the rare errors give it a layer of intrigue that sparks every coin lover's imagination. Many collectors describe the thrill of finding one as a heart-pounding moment, because you instantly know you've uncovered something truly special. Condition is another major factor that determines a coin's value. Coins that have never been used in circulation and still shine with their original mint luster, known as uncirculated or mint state coins, can fetch much higher prices than worn examples. Even a tiny scratch can make a big difference in the grading scale, which ranges from circulated condition all the way up to MS 70, a perfect coin. Collectors around the world are on the hunt for these rare Virginia quarters, often checking every coin they receive and change. Many have discovered valuable examples tucked away in forgotten coin jars, proof sets, or old collections passed down from relatives. It's an incredible reminder that treasures still exist in plain sight. You just have to know what to look for. If you ever find a Virginia State Quarter from the year 2000, take a close look at the details. Check the edges, the letters, and the ships. Look for doubling, unusual texture, or a slightly off-center strike. Even the tiniest variation could mean the difference between a simple 25-cent piece and a life-changing discovery. Stories from coin collectors have shown that a few Virginia quarters with exceptional mint errors have sold for jaw-dropping amounts at auction houses and private sales. These rare specimens are considered once-in-a-lifetime finds and are highly prized for their combination of beauty, history, and rarity. So the next time you come across a handful of change, don't just toss it aside. That simple quarter might carry a secret from America's past. and perhaps even the potential to change your future. Hidden treasures are out there, and one of them could be waiting in your pocket right now. And now for the part you've all been waiting for, the value reveal. Some of the rarest Virginia 2000 state quarters with dramatic minting errors and flawless condition have been valued at an astounding $80,000. Keep searching, keep collecting, and who knows? You might be the next lucky person to uncover a little piece of American history that's worth a fortune. Top 2, we're traveling to the year 2001 to uncover the secrets of one of the most talked about coins in the United States collection, the New York State Quarter. This little silver-colored gem might look ordinary to the untrained eye, but hidden among the millions minted are a few that could make any collector's heart skip a beat. So sit tight, because by the end of this video, you might find yourself checking every single quarter in your pocket. The New York State Quarter was released in January 2001 as part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program. Each state got a design that celebrated its identity, history, and pride. For New York, the Mint created something truly symbolic. The coin features the Statue of Liberty standing tall in front of the state's outline, with the words "Gateway to Freedom" proudly engraved. You can also see 11 stars circling the design, representing New York being the 11th state to ratify the Constitution. Behind it all, the lines of the Hudson River and the Atlantic Ocean swirl gracefully, showing how New York connects America to the world. It's a design that perfectly captures strength, hope, and history, all in one coin. Now, let's talk about what makes this coin so fascinating to collectors. The New York State Quarter was minted in both Philadelphia and Denver, with mint marks P and D. Millions were struck, which means most are common, but a handful of them were not so ordinary. Some quarters were minted with rare errors that have turned them into legendary finds in the coin world. These errors are what separate an everyday pocket change coin from a collector's dream worth thousands of dollars. One of the most famous and sought-after varieties is the double die error. This happens when the coin's design is struck twice by the die, but slightly misaligned. When you look closely at these coins, you can see a subtle doubling effect on the words New York, Gateway to Freedom, or even the image of the Statue of Liberty. Under magnification, it looks like the letters and edges are slightly shadowed or blurred, and that's the clue collectors go crazy for. Another fascinating version is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank, or planchet, is not perfectly aligned when the design is stamped. The result is a quarter with part of the image missing or off balance. Depending on how severe the misalignment is, these off-center coins can be worth many times their face value. A small off-center strike might be interesting, but when it's dramatically shifted, say by 40 or 50%, the coin becomes a collector's trophy. There's also the rare wrong planchet error, where the New York design was accidentally struck on a metal blank mint for another denomination, like a dime or a nickel. These are extremely rare and highly valued, because they were mistakes that slipped through the tight quality control of the U.S. Mint. Finding one of these is like striking gold for coin enthusiasts. Collectors are drawn to the New York Quarter not just for its errors, but also for its beauty and symbolism. The Statue of Liberty is more than just an image. It's an icon of freedom and opportunity, and this coin captures that perfectly. The way the Mint incorporated the map of New York behind her gives the design a sense of depth and movement, almost as if Liberty is stepping out into the world. It's this powerful imagery combined with minting mistakes that makes this coin so irresistible to collectors. Condition also plays a huge role in determining a coin's value. A New York quarter that has been in circulation and shows scratches, dirt, or dullness is interesting, but its value remains close to face value. However, if you find one that has never been used, what collectors call a mint state coin, it could be worth far more. These are the coins that shine brilliantly under light, with no marks or blemishes. When you add an error to that level of condition, you've got something truly special. Some collectors have shared stories about discovering these rare New York quarters by pure chance. Imagine finding one while sorting through a pile of coins, only to realize that the tiny error in your hand could be worth more than a luxury car. That's the thrill that keeps the coin collecting community buzzing. Every coin is a mystery waiting to be uncovered. If you've got a jar of old quarters at home, it's time to take a closer look. Grab a magnifying glass, check for doubling, off-center designs, or any strange metal tones that might suggest it was struck on the wrong planchet. You never know. Your spare change could be hiding a treasure. The New York State Quarter represents a moment in American history when art, technology, and patriotism came together to celebrate each state's unique story. But what makes it even more exciting is knowing that among the millions produced, a few contain those tiny, magical errors that can make them worth an incredible fortune. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the value reveal. The rarest and most exceptional New York 2001 state quarters with perfect condition and dramatic mint errors have been valued at an astonishing $77,000. So keep your eyes open, collectors, because that simple quarter in your pocket might just be your ticket to history, and maybe even a fortune. Top 3, we're diving into one of the most beautiful and historically rich coins in the United States collection, the Louisiana State Quarter from the year 2002. This coin isn't just a symbol of the Pelican State. It's a piece of art that captures history, culture, and, in some rare cases, serious value. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll discover how one of these coins could be worth a truly jaw-dropping amount of money. Let's start with the story behind it. The Louisiana State Quarter was released in 2002 as part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program. Each coin in the series was designed to celebrate the heritage and pride of a different state, and Louisiana's design is one of the most detailed of them all. On its reverse side, you'll find an outline of the state itself, the famous brown pelican, the trumpet of jazz music, and the purchase of Louisiana in 1803 highlighted on the map of the United States. At the top, you can see the words Louisiana Purchase, and just below, a flowing banner reads Louisiana. The combination of these elements celebrates the state's unique blend of history, music, and nature. The Louisiana Purchase itself was one of the most significant moments in American history, doubling the size of the young United States. This coin proudly honors that legacy, making it a favorite among collectors for both its artistic value and its historical significance. But history alone doesn't make a coin rare. What really sends collectors into a frenzy are the minting errors and variations that occurred during production. When the U.S. Mint creates millions of coins, even the smallest imperfection can turn an ordinary quarter into a collector's dream. The Louisiana State Quarter has a few of these fascinating errors that make it stand out. One of the most talked about is the double die error. This occurs when the coin's image or text is accidentally struck twice by the die, creating a subtle but visible doubling effect. If you look closely at the words Louisiana Purchase, E pluribus unum, or even the outlines of the pelican and trumpet, you might notice slight doubling or shadow-like edges. That's not damage, it's an error, and it can make your coin worth far more than its face value. Another highly prized version is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank isn't perfectly lined up during minting, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted. Depending on how far off-center it is, collectors can pay big money for these unusual pieces. A small shift might be interesting, but a dramatic off-center strike, say 30 to 50% off, is where the real value begins. There's also the wrong planchet error, where a Louisiana quarter was mistakenly struck on a metal blank mint for a different coin, like a dime or nickel. Because these accidents are so rare, finding one is almost like winning the lottery for coin enthusiasts. The size, weight, and even the sound of the coin can hint that it was struck on the wrong planchet. What truly fascinates collectors about the Louisiana State Quarter is how much character it holds. From the pelican that symbolizes protection and care to the trumpet that echoes the birthplace of jazz, every detail tells a story. It's a celebration of New Orleans culture, Louisiana pride, and the spirit of creativity that defines the state. The fact that this coin also carries the possibility of rare minting errors makes it even more exciting to hunt for. Condition plays a massive role too. Coins that have been in circulation and show scratches or dullness are still interesting, but their value remains close to 25 cents. However, coins that have never been used, called mint state or uncirculated, are a whole different story. These coins still have their original shine and flawless surfaces, and when paired with a rare error, they can be worth an incredible amount. Collectors across the country love searching for these Louisiana quarters and pocket change, coin rolls, and old collections. Many have shared stories of finding rare varieties by pure luck. Imagine realizing the coin you've had for years is actually a treasure hiding in plain sight. That's the magic of coin collecting. Every piece has potential, and you never know when you'll uncover something extraordinary. If you have a Louisiana State quarter from 2002, take a close look. Check the lettering, the pelican, the banner, and even the edge of the coin. Look for doubling, off-center details, or unusual coloring that might suggest a minting issue. Even a small variation could make a big difference in its value. Keep in mind that serious collectors and grading experts can help you determine exactly how rare your coin is and what it might be worth. The Louisiana State quarter represents more than just money. It's a snapshot of American history, a symbol of art, and a link to one of the country's most vibrant states. It reminds us that sometimes the most valuable things are hidden in everyday life, waiting to be discovered by someone who knows what to look for. And now, for the part every collector waits for, the value reveal. The rarest Louisiana State quarters from the year 2002, featuring dramatic minting errors and preserved in perfect condition, have been valued at an astonishing $75,000. So check your change. Coin lovers, you might just be holding a tiny piece of Louisiana history that's worth far more than you ever imagined. Top forward, diving deep into one of the most stunning and mysterious coins in the America the Beautiful series, the Shawnee National Forest quarter from the year 2016. It's a coin that celebrates nature, history, and craftsmanship, but what truly makes it exciting are the rare versions that collectors dream of finding. So stay with me till the end, because you'll want to hear about the versions of this coin that could be worth an incredible amount of money. Let's begin with the story behind it. The Shawnee quarter was released in early 2016 as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, which ran from 2010 to 2021. This series honored national parks and historic sites across the United States, and the Shawnee coin represents Illinois with a breathtaking design that pays tribute to the state's natural wonder, the Shawnee National Forest. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll see an image of Camel Rock, one of the most recognizable landmarks in the forest. Perched proudly atop the rock is a red-tailed hawk soaring high above the trees. The intricate design captures the beauty of Illinois' wilderness, showing the balance between strength and freedom. Around the rim, the words Shawnee, Illinois, and E pluribus unum are engraved, along with the year 2016. The front, or obverse, features the familiar portrait of George Washington. Now, here's where things get fascinating for collectors. Millions of Shawnee quarters were minted, but as always, not every coin came out perfectly. Hidden among the ordinary ones are rare minting errors and unique variations that can turn a 25-cent piece into a collector's treasure. These are the coins that keep collectors hunting through pocket change, bank rolls, and old coin jars, hoping to find that one incredible mistake from the mint point. One of the most famous errors seen on the Shawnee quarter is the double die error. This occurs when the die strikes the coin more than once, but slightly misaligned. When this happens, you can notice doubling in the details of the lettering. Look carefully at Shawnee, Illinois, or even the lines around the hawk and Camel Rock. Under magnification, the letters might appear slightly shadowed or doubled, and that's the telltale sign of a valuable coin. Another rare variety is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank isn't perfectly positioned during minting, causing part of the design to be shifted or missing. Depending on how far off-center the strike is, the value can rise dramatically. Collectors especially love those with visible borders missing on one side, because it shows the minting error clearly while keeping the main design intact. There's also a fascinating type called the die break error, often known among collectors as a cut. This happens when a piece of the minting die breaks off during production, leaving a raised blob or line of metal on the coin. On the Shawnee quarter, these breaks sometimes appear near the edge of the coin or across the word Liberty. Each cut error is unique, making every one of a kind and highly collectible. Even more intriguing are the wrong planchet errors, those rare occasions when a quarter design is mistakenly struck on a metal blank mint for another denomination, such as a dime. These pieces are extremely rare and can fetch unbelievable prices when authenticated by grading services. Collectors also pay close attention to mint marks. The Shawnee quarter was struck at 3 mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The San Francisco proofs, especially the silver versions, are known for their mirror-like shine and stunning detail. While most are collected in proof sets, some have found their way into circulation, and discovering one in change would be like finding buried treasure. Condition is another major factor that determines how valuable your shiny quarter might be. Circulated coins that have been used for years might still have collector interest if they feature clear minting errors, but the real stars are the uncirculated ones, those that have never been used and retain their original mint luster. Coins graded as MS 67 or higher by professional grading services can reach serious prices, especially if they combine pristine condition with rare errors. The shiny design has also captured the hearts of nature lovers and history enthusiasts alike. It's more than just a coin. It's a tribute to one of America's most beautiful national forests, a place where ancient rock formations and wildlife tell a story millions of years in the making. Holding one of these coins feels like holding a tiny piece of that landscape, frozen in metal. Collectors across the country love the hunt for these coins because every shiny quarter tells a slightly different story. Some have perfect strikes, some have unique errors, and a lucky few are the rare ones worth a small fortune. It's the thrill of discovery that keeps this hobby alive. The idea that your next coin could be something extraordinary. So, if you have a shiny quarter from 2016, take a good look at it. Examine the details, the edges, and the shine. Look for doubling, misalignments, unusual bumps, or even color variations that might suggest a planchet issue. You never know. You might be holding one of the rarest modern quarters ever made. The shiny quarter reminds us that not all treasures come from ancient times. Some are minted in our lifetime, quietly circulating among everyday coins until the right person recognizes their hidden value. It's a modern treasure hunt, one that connects history, art, and chance all in a single coin. And now, the moment every collector waits for, the value reveal. The rarest and most exceptional Shawnee National Forest quarters from the year 2016, with flawless condition and dramatic minting errors, have been valued at an astonishing $73,000. So keep checking your change. Coin lovers, you never know when a simple quarter could turn into a discovery that takes your breath away and adds a fortune to your collection. Top 5, we're diving into one of the most surprising and talked about coins in modern U.S. history. The Kansas State Quarter from the year 2005. At first glance, this coin looks simple and elegant, but behind that polished design lies one of the most famous minting errors in the entire state quarter series. It's a coin that has captured the imagination of collectors all over the world, and if you're lucky enough to find the right version, it could be worth an absolutely incredible amount of money. The Kansas State Quarter was released in 2005 as part of the United States Mint's 50 State Quarters program, which ran from 1999 through 2008. Each quarter in the series celebrated a different state with a design that reflected its unique heritage, culture, and pride. For Kansas, the U.S. Mint chose a design that perfectly represents the state's agricultural roots and natural beauty. On the reverse side, you'll find a majestic American bison standing tall on the open prairie, surrounded by wild sunflowers, the state flower of Kansas. The top of the coin proudly reads Kansas, while the words E pluribus unum and the year 2005 sit along the bottom. The design is simple, powerful, and unmistakably Kansas. On the obverse, of course, is the classic portrait of George Washington that appears on all quarters. But what makes this coin so fascinating isn't just its design. It's the errors that make some versions of this coin worth thousands of times their face value. When the mint produces millions of coins, even the tiniest mistake can slip through, and those mistakes can turn an ordinary quarter into a legendary collector's item. The most famous and valuable error on the Kansas State Quarter is known as the "In God We Rust" error. Yes, you heard that right. On some quarters, due to a grease-filled die during production, the letter T in the word trust did not fully strike. As a result, the motto on the obverse reads, "In God We Rust." It's one of the most amusing and iconic minting errors in the entire State Quarter series. Because of its clear visibility and unusual nature, collectors fell in love with it instantly. These "In God We Rust" coins were primarily produced at the Denver Mint, marked with a small D on the coin. The error occurred when grease built up in the die that imprinted the letters, preventing the T from forming completely. While this might sound like a small issue, it turned a simple quarter into one of the most famous modern error coins. Depending on the condition, these coins can fetch staggering prices, especially when found in mint or uncirculated state. But that's not the only error collectors search for. Another valuable variation is the double die error, which happens when the coin design is struck twice slightly out of alignment. This creates a shadowed or doubled look on the lettering or design. On the Kansas quarter, doubling has been observed on the words Kansas, e pluribus unum, and even around the bison's horn and face. Under magnification, it's a mesmerizing detail that makes the coin instantly recognizable to experienced collectors. There are also off-center strike errors, where the design is not properly aligned on the coin blank, leaving part of the design cut off. The more off-center the image, the rarer and more valuable the coin becomes. A dramatic off-center Kansas quarter with all its inscriptions visible can attract huge interest at auctions. Another fascinating variation is the die break error, commonly called a cud. This happens when part of the die breaks off during minting, leaving a raised blob of metal on the coin. Some Kansas quarters show die breaks near the bison's head or around the rim. Each one is unique, making them particularly desirable for collectors who appreciate one-of-a-kind pieces. Condition, as always, plays a huge role in determining value. A Kansas quarter that has been circulated and shows wear might still be worth more than its face value if it has one of these minting errors. But a coin in mint state, uncirculated, shiny, and without any scratches, can be worth exponentially more. Collectors and grading companies use a detailed scale to assess condition, and coins graded above MS 65 are often where the serious money begins to appear. What makes the Kansas quarter even more exciting is how accessible it feels. Because it's a relatively modern coin, it's still possible to find one in circulation or in old rolls of quarters from the bank. People have discovered in God We Rust quarters in loose change, old coin jars, and even at vending machines. The idea that a simple oversight at the mint could lead to such a valuable find keeps collectors and casual treasure hunters on constant alert. Beyond its errors, the Kansas State quarter also carries powerful symbolism. The bison, once nearly wiped out from the plains, represents resilience and renewal, while the sunflowers symbolize the beauty and strength of the state's natural landscape. Together, they create an image of American heritage that's both timeless and inspiring. For coin enthusiasts, it's a perfect blend of history, art, and chance, the kind of coin that tells a story just by existing. So, if you've got a Kansas State quarter from 2005, grab a magnifying glass and take a close look. Check the words "In God We Trust" first. If you see that missing T, you might just be holding a famous error. Then examine the lettering, the rim, and the bison for any doubling, cracks, or off-center details. Every little imperfection could make your coin stand out among millions. The Kansas State quarter teaches us something special about collecting. It's not always the oldest or shiniest coins that carry the biggest surprises. Sometimes it's the modern ones, the ones we overlook, that turn out to be the true treasures. And now for the moment you've all been waiting for, the value reveal. The rarest and most exceptional Kansas State quarters from the year 2005, featuring major minting errors and preserved in perfect condition, have been valued at an astonishing $70,000. So keep your eyes open, coin lovers, because the next time you get change at the store, that ordinary-looking Kansas quarter might just turn out to be your lucky find, and your ticket to a truly extraordinary discovery. If you enjoyed this video and love discovering the hidden treasures in everyday coins, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow and lets us bring you more exciting coin stories and rare finds from around the world. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, so you'll be the first to know when we drop our next video about coins that could be worth a fortune. Join our amazing community of collectors and treasure hunters. Your next big discovery might be just one video away.